Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zach and Sean and Ryan are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to Movie Film. This is episode 23, brought to you by Mr. Boy Productions. My name is Zaki Hassan, and I am joined today by the returning Sean Coyle, who's deigned to bless us with his presence once more.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, did you guys know I used to date Connie Britton?
I did not know that, but I'm very
Is that like a password? Is that Am I supposed to now give you like top secret information?
You tell me, Brian.
And that second voice you heard is, of course, Brian Hall.
Tis.
The end.
That's great, Brian. That's great podcast behavior.
Yep.
The strong silent type. It's
exactly. That's good radio right there.
Word.
Wait, so what
So,
now? Connie
Sean-
Britton? What?
Yeah, where were you going with that, Sean? I'm curious.
Are you watching Friday Night Lights or?
We are watching Friday Night Lights.
I know
forgot
this
that
guy.
I usually have a quote or something to introduce myself with.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot. I forgot today. I pulled a Brian. I was totally unprepared for this.
Looks like I pulled a homer.
So, first thing I can think of.
Brian? He pulled a Brian. I'm sure your wife feels very good about that. In a moment of panic, your first thoughts are of Connie Britton.
Hey, am I wrong, really?
So
I could do worse.
I actually think you're completely wrong because, I don't think you in fact dated Connie Britton. So by definition, you are in fact wrong.
It's on the air. It's fact now. It's all over the internet.
Is that how it works? Instantaneously. Hold on, let me check her wiki. I'll be damned. There it is. So, Sean, we missed you last week. What's new and exciting in your realm?
I missed you guys last week. By the way, I was very pleased with the show, the Seanless episode.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 for me now. I think it's like 2, maybe 3 shows I wasn't around for.
Yeah, it is weird. It's weird, feeling there's like a repartee.
Yeah.
I feel it feels different when someone's missing.
Well, it was funny because I listened to the show in my car, and I'm just so used to being not in the same room physically, but sort of spiritually, I guess, through GChat and the internet. I don't know. I'm so used to like being there with you guys, so I would respond pretty vocally when I was listening to it, and then my feelings would be hurt because like nobody was talking back to me. It was like ignored.
It's kind of like my life normally. Aw, tear.
I know we got a packed show, so I do want to just point out some things that made me laugh last episode.
Okay.
If you guys want your ego stroked a little bit.
Stroke away,
okay.
Meryl.
Wow, dude. and we're gonna circle back around to that reference later today. So kudos.
Just planting the seeds.
Now I don't know. I mean, you guys talk pretty in detail about Star Trek, and and we've discussed this sort of off mic. So I don't know. I'm not going to go too deep into it. But I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the Star Trek discussion, and I think that I lean more towards where Brian is coming from. I really, really enjoyed the movie.
You know why that is, Sean? It's because you're a racist.
Well, besides the point.
You're like, true, but...
I totally agree where you were coming from, Zachy. I mean, I'm not obviously as attached to the franchise as you are. So I was more forgiving of a lot of it. And there definitely were story points that either didn't make sense or were unnecessary or were, just silly. And I really appreciate that you blamed Damon Lindelof on my behalf.
Yeah, well, I seem like the thing to do.
And to steal a Zachy quote, Damon Lindelof basically has wiped his ass with every script that has come across his desk since Lost, in my opinion. So, to borrow from
I feel bad for Damon Lindelof because he does seem
He seems like a totally
I mean, he does seem
affable
like
guy.
a cool guy, you know?
He does. He does.
He does. Somebody just needs to
Yeah.
tell him to stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's talentless, though. I mean,
I love you, but I wish you were unemployed.
No,
He needs somebody to.
he needs a writing partner.
He's a great first draft guy.
Sure.
He
Yeah.
can start a story.
There you go.
And that's kind of what the movie felt like. There's a lot of
and
first
Star
draft
Trek-
problems in that script.
Star Trek Into Darkness, it's a first draft. Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
And moving on from that real quick, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why it was so funny, but in the previous episode when you guys noticed that you had some live viewers watching you,
Yeah.
and we froze like
Dude.
deer in the headlights.
and then when Zachy goes, "Hi, fella," I lost it. I almost veered into oncoming traffic. I was laughing so hard. I can't
Well,
explain
then,
it. I just had this picture of and it was weird because I imagined Zachy as like a Simpsons character, just going, "Hi, fella." And I laughed so hard. It was so great.
Yeah.
and you almost died, but you didn't. You made it. You lived to tell the tale. So that's something. That means something.
I was kind of expecting a little more resin about the whole Great Gatsby thing too.
Well, now that you're here and you bring that up,
Yeah. That's right.
Wait.
Now that you're here.
I actually, in fact, I did for this purpose. I brought up the box office total here. Where do you guys guess as of today, Thursday? No, today's Friday, May 31st. Where
Domestic,
Great Gatsby is at? Real quick, just off the top of your heads.
domestically,
Yep.
150.
Okay, Zachy?
I'm going to say 125.
About 122.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
who knew?
Yes.
Who
Yeah.
knew?
So what that is, folks, is Sean being wrong. Get used to it because it happens a lot.
Well, it's
Well,
really
see-
interesting. Well, I'm going to say, no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's the great thing about America is that even the dumb can have their cake and eat it too.
If I can get patriotic for a second.
You know,
No, I just think it's interesting that Hangover 3, I don't think anyone expected it to do Hangover 1 numbers, but
Yeah.
that severely underperformed. Star Trek is underperforming, and The Great Gatsby overperforms. I think that's a really interesting way to start off the summer.
I got a theory, and this is all going to come full circle into a movie film centric state of mind. You ready?
Yes.
Here's my theory, and I'm sort of borrowing from a conversation that I heard on sports radio of all places.
Okay.
Because the host of this show that I listened to, he was like me, where he was predicting that Great Gatsby was going to be a huge flop. He's like, no way people are going to see Iron Man. They're looking forward to Star Trek. No way people are going to see Great Gatsby. And his producer or co-host or whoever was like, no, dude, Great Gatsby's going to be a huge hit. So they had sort of like a friendly bet going. And then the weekend after, when it's discovered Great Gatsby is sort of a surprise hit, the host, he brought up an interesting point where he was like, well, if you really think about it, Hollywood isn't going to let a movie like that fail. And now here's where my brain went out. So hear me out. If you really think about it, I think it's in everybody's best interest that this movie is a hit. Because on one hand, you have Leonardo DiCaprio, who's basically Hollywood royalty. He's sort of like the epitome of movie star, best actor of his generation, all that stuff.
Okay.
So, they're not going to let his stock really take a hit. So, of course, a Leonardo DiCaprio movie is going to be a success. And on the other hand, you with me? On the other hand, you have what's been deemed one of the greatest works.
You lost me a while ago.
I'm following you.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm with you.
So on one hand, you got DiCaprio. On the other hand,
I'm neither following
you've
nor
got
with.
this book, The Great Gatsby, which is, according to a lot of people's opinion, is one of the greatest works of literature of all time, and yada, yada, yada. Everybody's got to read it in school,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that kids today, if you think about it, they don't read old books. And a lot of weird stuff popped up at work, which contributes to my train of thought here. Young people don't read old books, and young people don't watch old movies anymore. I work with a few 20-somethings at my new job, and none of them have seen The Goonies, I'm discovering. Which to me is just mind-boggling that I don't know, even in your 20s, you got to see The Goonies. It just
Well,
feels
that's
like
more
everybody...
a failure on their parents' behalf, but go on.
And also, there's this one girl specifically, and she's not a dullard. She's a very nice, very smart
dullard.
girl. I was watching Perfect Strangers episodes. I sort of have them just running on YouTube while I'm working. And she's like, "What's that show?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Perfect Strangers." And she's like, "I've never heard of it." And I was kind of like, "Well, TGIF, ABC, Friday nights, like just deer in headlights look."
Yeah.
And I was like, remember Full House? Yeah, I sort of remember the Olsen twins. I'm like, wow. It's
Yeah.
pretty clear that we are now the old demographic.
Right.
And to contribute one more thing to that, we've been getting executive notes on our show to stop referencing things from the 80s.
That's interesting.
Executives are like, don't reference so many things from the 80s because your audience is not going to get it.
Oh, it totally has not worked for Family Guy, not at all. So that's a good
Right.
note.
Well,
Family Guy promotion.
I'm just saying. So like you factor in all this kind of stuff, and it's in everybody's best interest that The Great Gatsby is a success, so that it remains relevant and that it doesn't be one of those things that is forgotten about with this younger generation.
Okay,
Sean,
okay.
All I want, Sean, is for you to say this to cap off your little rant, and that is the phrase "long story short" has origins that are complicated and long.
No, wait a minute. So, do you think? Wait. So my big question about that theory is this: you're saying that The Great Gatsby did as well as it did, better than expected, because that work needs to remain relevant to a generation that isn't paying attention to it. So my question would be, who's paying for this? Like the Fitzgerald?
Well,
It's the government, it's the mafia, and it's the Cubans.
could be Baz Luhrmann and
Yakuza?
DiCaprio spent $50 million that opening weekend. My point is that there was a lot of people. I work in a very sort of hipster artsy community in Hollywood now, and there were a lot of people that were like so looking forward to this movie, and most of them either didn't see it, or the people that did see it. I don't know one person who's seen this movie that enjoyed it. So I'm just saying, where is this box office money coming from?
Holy crap!
It's a conspiracy theory.
So Sean,
And Sean, I just want to say we have one person watching us right now via Google Hangout, and I think
I so wish they could join this conversation right now. I would love to know their opinion.
Well, as a matter of fact, they can if they go to Google Hangouts, and there's a way for them to join.
It is
probably
long
find
and
that out.
convoluted.
That's right.
All right. Well, anyway, I would be very interested, for listener letters for
mind
people
wanders.
to give us their opinions on Sean's take on the success of The Great Gatsby. I'd love to hear that.
I love how you can. Your answer to "I was wrong about the box office" is not "I was wrong about the box office." It's a global conspiracy involving Hollywood and Hillary Clinton. I don't know.
Prove me wrong. If you can't prove me wrong,
Prove me wrong.
Oh, geez. I don't know what happened. We've gone off the rails, but that's okay because we'll get back on the rails with listener letters.
Yay!
As we,
All right.
we start things off with listener letters. First up, we have a post on the Movie Film Podcast Facebook page, which is, of course, Movie Film Podcast Facebook.com/Movie Film Podcast. Sorry. And you can post comments to us there, and we will gladly address them on the show. This one is for you guys. This is from Omar. And he says, "Great job with the show, guys, though I missed Sean Coyle last week." That makes one person who missed Sean Coyle.
Shut up.
Question. I understand that Sean and Brian Hall work in the film industry in editing and post-production. I'm curious, what exactly does that mean? I'd love to hear more about how you two broke into the business, what it was like in the early going, how you worked your way up, and what you do today. And congrats, by the way, on making it in Hollywood. Sean, why don't we start with you?
Well, congratulations to you too, Omar. Anyway, well, I moved out here with hope and a dream from the Chicago area. You guys were both out here already.
Yeah.
I had visited Brian in the spring of 2003. I think it was like March. and I'd never really spent any time in Los Angeles. And, I just sort of dug the vibe, and I dug what Brian was doing, and Zachy, you were up in the Bay Area, and, I just decided if I was going to be a struggling artist, I should do it out in LA where the action is. So a couple months later, I just packed up and moved. Started out in the PA circuit, worked for Carsey Warner Productions on that 70s show for a while, and then bounced around on a couple of movies, and then I was working on the animated Ninja Turtles movie that came out in 2005, I believe.
That's
and,
right.
Just doing Photoshop work, just kind of being, an all-around helper. And one day the line producer walked out and was like, "Does anybody here know how to edit on Final Cut?" And I did not at the time, but I raised my hand anyway. And they were like, "All right."
2007, by the way, the TMNT movie.
That's when it came out, but it was in production
there you
in
go.
2005.
Gotcha.
So I just sort of fell into an assistant editing position, and then that got me an interview over at Disney, and I got in the door over at Disney editing pilots and things like that for TV animation, and yada, yada, yada. Here I am. Not working for Disney
You yada
anymore.
the best part. Which is, of course,
Currently working for 20th Century Fox, but I feel very blessed that I've been able to sustain in an industry that's so competitive, and doing something that most of the time is pretty fun and pretty creative, and
yeah, that's awesome.
so that's my story.
Very cool.
I could go on and on, but I've talked so much already.
Indeed, you have. Brian, and you just wrapped up on Now You See Me today.
Literally today was my last day of work on Now You See Me. Yeah.
So tell us about your journey, but do it with some brevity.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to truncate, but oh man, I mean, I started an internship when I was in college at New Regency Films.
Who got you that internship, Brian?
It was this up and coming talent, Sean Coyle. Sean Coyle got me there. So the internship led to becoming a production PA on a bunch of films, and it really is true. They say, it's who you know, and you make contacts on these shows, and because you were friendly with one person who you hardly worked with on one show, somewhere down the line that gets you work on another show, and that's true up into this film. I traced it back. How I knew the people on this was because of one person I met one day on a movie 6 or 7 years ago. So it's kind of amazing. But yeah, I was a post coordinator on a Christopher Guest movie, and got pretty close with the editors on that. And after that, I went and worked in the creative department at New Regency Films again for an amazing creative executive named Alex Sundell over there. And I got to read a lot of scripts and give a lot of suggestions. And she really helped me to be sort of involved in the process while supporting Sean and I and Yu's endeavors. We were actually for a while pushing pretty strong our own work. And we were pitching a television show around for a while called Sucker Punch and Leroy, which you can see the trailer we made for it up on YouTube.
On YouTube,
and,
that's right.
So anyway, that was going well, but things come and things go, and you got to get a day job. And so I hit up those editors again from the Christopher Guest film, and I wound up as an assistant in editorial for Now You See Me. And it's been a really cool gig because everybody on here has been, I mean, I really looked at it almost as like a mentorship. I mean, they really brought me in the room and cared about my opinions and showed me everything that was going on, made sure I was learning. And now the future is an open book. So
Nice.
We'll see where this all leads next.
Well, it's a great story because both of you guys have really achieved a degree of success in the industry that I think anyone who's trying to get ahead could look at and say, you know what, that's impressive. So you should feel really good about that because you've accomplished a lot in a relatively short span of time.
Yeah. Well, thanks for saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, I'll say this. I just spoke with someone. Someone asked me their younger brother, was interested in getting in entertainment, and they wanted advice. And it's funny because when I was starting, I remember someone who had been in the industry for a long time offering this advice to me, and you sort of, you take it with a grain of salt. You're like, yeah, this won't really apply to me, but it is true. If you are not serious or committed to working in entertainment, just quit now. Because it is a completely unforgiving industry. It's unfair, completely unfair. There's no fairness involved in this industry. Like, people who deserve to move ahead do not, and people who don't deserve at all to move ahead do. And you have to really be passionate about this and want to do it to continue in it. So if it's something that you love and you just can't imagine yourself not doing, go for it. And that's still, I think, where I'm at and why I'm still here. But it's tough.
Yeah. Well, that's part of why we do the show. I think it's a way for all of us to vent a little bit about.
Yeah. Well, and it's an industry we care about. I mean, this stuff is genuinely interesting to us. I mean, this is stuff we talk about in our everyday conversations, you and I as friends. And that's why we did the podcast. We're like, why not just record what we're always talking about?
Yeah, and well, that seems to have worked out fairly well because we have one viewer who's watching us right now.
Hello.
We had two briefly, but we scared one off. One person was not serious about working in entertainment, and so he just quit. Next listener letter here. This is from Derek, and let me go ahead and pull that up. Hi, Movie Film Gang. From all the Simpsons references you drop in your episodes, Police Cops, Bleeding Gums Murphy, I get the sense that you're pretty big fans of the show. I'm curious what you guys think of the current state of the show, as I find it pretty as I find it pretty much unwatchable. What a letdown from the highs of those early years. Would love to hear your thoughts. Derek.
We should really just post Brian's divorce letter on the website.
That's right. Yeah. I keep reposting that every now and then on my blog.
The new show is crap.
Yeah. I talk about. I'll say this all night. I could talk for 2 hours on this. I really could, but I don't watch it anymore. I stuck with it for a very long time. I was there from the very first episode. I mean, the Christmas special. I was there, and growing up, not only were we growing up with the show, but they were rerunning that show 3 times a day on Fox in Chicago, and I watched all 3.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that's why it's so embedded in me. I mean, when something happens in my life, I can almost pull a reference from, an episode somewhere, just because that stuff is like, really, it's embedded in me. And so I think it's inevitable after, we're at what, season 24?
23, I believe.
23, 24. I mean, there's no way a show can sustain. It has to evolve, and it'll either evolve and get better, or it'll evolve and get worse. And I feel like it's just run its course. And from what I hear, it still has its moments.
I agree with
it's
that.
Still better than a lot of the other programs that are on television. And I totally get that, and I believe it. But I think for me, the time when it really spoke to me and my sensibilities has passed. And I'm okay with that. I had a moment where it was difficult for me to let go, but I did, and I haven't looked back.
Well, Sean, what do you think? I think all of us are kind of in the bitter ex-wife phase.
Yeah, and you mentioned this one time, Zachy, that we now have more, I'll just say more crappy seasons of The Simpsons than the good ones, which to me is really weird because like those first 8 seasons are like golden to me. I own the first 10 because it's a nice round number, and you can sort of see like, in season 10 them losing grip a little bit. But like it started off, and it was this great show that had heart, and it was about characters that you loved, and then it just sort of evolved into this weird thing where like the rules of in this house we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
That's right.
It became something where like there were no laws of reality that applied anymore, and Homer was just getting hit in the eye with staple guns and nail guns and things like that, and it was just kind of pointless, and the jokes weren't smart anymore. And the characters didn't feel like the characters anymore, the characters that I loved. And like, Mo just became like a weird pervert guy after a while, and I don't know. It sort of dipped into like Family Guy territory, which the first chunk of Family Guy to me is still great. The pre cancellation Family Guy is still great because of those same reasons. Because the characters are endearing and the stories have heart, and you really do care about what's going on. And now it's just about like offensive jokes or people getting poked in the eyeball with stuff, or characters vomiting on each other, and
it's just the wit. I mean, there was genuine wit and references, cultural and historical references, and they weren't just there so you could be, oh, I know that.
Right.
I mean, they actually tied into what they were doing, and it was. I mean, this word is used far too often, but it was truly brilliant.
Yeah, and it turned into something that felt like people trying to
imitate.
Yes.
Yeah.
It turned into a cheap imitation.
Because the people who are writing it now are probably people who grew up with it,
totally
so they're
true.
trying to imitate.
They're younger than us, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Zachy, what I mean, I talk about this all the time. So, but I mean, I'm curious. I don't know if I've heard you talk about.
I really attribute our friendship to The Simpsons. I think all three of us.
Yeah.
In that,
too, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, our sense of humor and just the fact that I can send you guys I'll text you guys a random Simpsons quote, and I'll know that you get it. I mean, to me, that's something that distinguishes our relationship. It's like some random quote will pop into my mind, and I can just text it to you, and you'll laugh hysterically. And so in that sense, that show is still important to me. And I, for a while there, I took it out of my DVR queue and I added it back because I was like, you know what, I still want to watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And even mediocre Simpsons is still, it lets me see my friends, these characters. And so I'm still watching it, and it's still pretty mediocre, but now, I've revised my expectations downward.
Sure.
So if I get a couple of chuckles through an episode, I'm happy, And that's been the case. I would say this last season has been less mediocre than previous seasons, and I'm willing to file that in the win column. Because it's like, well, I did laugh occasionally, and therefore it's okay. I do think the season finale, which just aired a few weeks ago, shows how kind of incestuous it all is, because it had Seth MacFarlane as a guest, as this love interest for Marge, and that just tells you. I mean, it's all tied up together, and if given a choice between watching Family Guy and The Simpsons, I probably still prefer The Simpsons for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
But hopefully, Murder Police will.
Yes, will save us all.
Change my viewing habits. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
By the way, when you mentioned sending a random Simpsons text,
yes.
First thing that popped into my mind was the image of Homer with the air horn.
Well, it's funny. Just today, as I was leaving, walking out of the offices for the last time, this guy Brian Tucker, who's an associate producer on Now You See Me, we were looking at the offices and they were all dark, and he goes, "I'm gonna miss the dank." And I go, "Not the dank, not the dank," and then we started laughing, and he didn't even need to give me context, and I said, "You know what? God has always given me someone in each job I can speak Simpsons with, and that I'm thankful for."
Well, there you go. So it's given you so much joy that let it go off into let it play as long as it needs to. The Simpsons right now. The Simpsons is like Brett Favre. It's like past his prime, but let him play as long as he wants to.
We do need to post Brian's letter where he equates it to a loveless marriage. It's pretty.
Yeah,
funny.
we'll go ahead and get that posted on the blog and the on the Facebook page so that people can read that. And thrilled to Brian's witticisms. All right. So, moving on from listener letters, we have some headlines to discuss.
Headlines.
Yeah, okay. Uh, we say this every week, but we really do need some jingles.
Some bumpers.
Yeah, because
Nah.
Brian's singing is not doing the job.
Sure it is.
How about this? Headlines.
Okay, that's it right there, Sean. I want you to capture that and make that our thing.
And just
'cause-
put like a little guitar noodling over it, like yeah, like Bill and
Thank you,
Ted
Brian.
kind of thing. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
So first up in headlines, now we've been bouncing back and forth about this story like a bouncing ball of some kind.
I was just wait. When you said Leica, I was like, oh, what's he going to come up with here?
Yes, that analogy could have gone better, admittedly.
All right.
But Sam Mendes is now back in the mix for James Bond 24.
Hooray!
And more precisely, he might end up directing the next 2 James Bond films.
Double hooray.
Well, they were talking about filming these back to back, right? Possibly the next 2 films.
That's the word on the street. So
Is that you think this will be one big massive undertaking?
Well, I believe the second one will involve Bond throwing a ring into Mount Doom.
Oh.
That I want to see.
Yeah. Or finding the Fountain of Youth with Orlando Bloom. Could go.
That I don't want to see.
And Keira Knightley would be the Bond girl. Oh, I'm Keira Knightley, James Bond. Oh, yes. So now the interesting thing about this is that if Sam Mendes does do 2 more, that would bring him right up to the end, presumably the end of Daniel Craig's tenure as James Bond, because he's signed for 2 more Bond movies.
It's a good way to do it.
So that would mean Craig does 5 total.
All right, so what do you think here, Zachy? I mean, because we have talked about this. This is the Bond series I'm most familiar with. There's definitely an arc going on here, and I imagine with Sam Mendes continuing, this arc will, I don't know that it'll end, but it will continue further. So once you get rid of this director, and once you get rid of Daniel Craig, I mean, what do you do next? I mean, what do you do?
Well,
you just reinvent again?
What you don't do is have Daniel Craig's last movie end with him flying a nuclear bomb out of the city.
Now hold on, you might have something here, and then they could erect a statue of him in London, right? And then Michael Caine will cry over his grave.
I failed you, Master Bond. Yeah, I don't want an arc for Bond. That's what's worrisome to me. Like I feel like, and I don't think they're going to do this. Now I'm of the opinion, obviously, that Dark Knight Rises was a huge mistake. I'm clearly in the minority opinion on that, and I'll grant that. But I don't think James Bond should be following that lead. I think the goal should be to set some kind of a narrative arc that allows for closure without closing the story, so that somebody else can pick it up and run with it. Now, what fascinates me about all this is the fact that the producers made the decision to wait out Sam Mendes. So Sam Mendes is like, I have to make Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And rather than having them be like, go make your effing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we got stuff to do, they're like, all right, we'll wait, which is unheard of because, the Bond production model is an assembly line. They move on and they keep going. Now, my thoughts behind this are twofold. I think that, number one, they want to avoid another situation like they had with Quantum of Solace, which took all of the head of steam they built up with Casino Royale and squandered it in the eyes of many.
Yeah.
Right? That's number one. Number two, I'm willing to bet that Daniel Craig, who, remember, he's the guy who got Sam Mendes involved to begin with.
Just going to say that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he twisted their arms. And I don't think he was like, I won't do it without Sam. I think he was like, you know what, it'd be nice to wait.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
This was the most successful film in the entire franchise, right?
Yeah.
In terms of pure dollars, I don't know if you adjust for inflation. I don't know what the unadjusted would be. But yeah. I believe if you adjust for inflation, Moonraker is still the most successful. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure.
Moonraker.
Yeah, that is not the song.
No.
So, yeah.
Should have been. Good job, Brian.
But I don't know. The Bond production model is something that's clockwork like. So it's very telling that Sam Mendes has enough clout, or they perceive him as having enough clout that they're willing to wait for him. In other words, he's worth more to the franchise than just the franchise itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think?
I don't know. It's interesting to me because I understand this model of things happening where with Batman and just the trend that's happening now, it seems people want to get invested in these things, but they also want closure. So that's
Right.
what I've already brought up is kind of what's fascinating to me about this. I mean, if you are going to close out Daniel Craig and you're using the same director, so he'll have directed 3 Bond movies. Has that happened before? A director doing 3 Bond movies?
Yeah, well, in the 1980s, John Glenn did every Bond movie. The Astronaut.
The astronaut.
Yeah.
After he returned from Earth, to Earth, he decided to hit up the Bond franchise. No, John Glenn's a British director. He started as a second unit on the films in the 60s and 70s, but he in the 1980s he did For Your Eyes Only. He did Octopussy, View to a Kill, Living Daylights, and License to Kill. So every Bond movie in the 80s, one director, 5. So he has the record, which I don't think is any danger of being broken. But since the 1990s, they've had a different director for every movie. So yeah, this would be a switch. They haven't had two films consecutively by the same director since Brosnan took over. So that is new.
Well, it just feels like these are intentionally being played out as like a saga.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm most curious about. How do you end this? Like you said, closure without closing the story.
See, with Skyfall, and we had our long Skyfall episode, but I feel like Skyfall ended the Becoming Bond trilogy. And I felt like the end of Skyfall should have been, okay, now let's go
Just
back
have adventures.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And let's go back to formula, and I don't mean formula as in formulaic, but I mean let's have the bigger than life villains. Let's do something more quote unquote traditionally Bond. So I'd like to see that, but I mean I'm down for whatever they have planned. I'd hate to bump up against the limitations of the character. I guess that would be my concern.
Yeah.
But moving on to other headline news. Sean, this should be of interest to you. Whoopi Goldberg has been cast in TMNT in the
As Donatello.
She is not playing Donatello. She
does
April
machines. Leonardo leads.
Yes, and Raphael is of course crude, but rude. But
Cool,
rude.
but rude.
So, is he? No. I thought he was. Is he cool but rude? Really?
Yes. Because
You
cool
mean
and rude are like the same thing. Raphael is cool but rude. Give me a break.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Raphael was the first turtle action figure that I ever bought.
Me too. Seriously.
Is that right?
Did
Yeah.
your guys, did he have the squishy head or the hard
Yeah,
head?
the squishy
The
head
squishy
that
head.
popped right off.
Yeah.
Popped right off
Yeah.
and broke.
Wait, so how does Whoopi Goldberg factor into all this? What's happening?
She has a squishy head. No, she is playing Bernadette Thompson.
Yes,
Yes.
right. She's like choice for that. Who is that?
Now, if you followed the 1987 cartoon series, April O'Neil's boss at Channel 6 News was Bernie Thompson, a white man. So they've decided to go to have some whoopee.
Hey,
Yeah.
Why not?
Whatever.
So there you go. So Sean, as our resident shellhead, how are you feeling about the Turtles movie so far?
I still completely disagree with Megan Fox.
Yes.
I'm
About
not
her politics or
just the idea of her in general.
oh, okay, her existence you disagree.
No. Whatever. It's a Michael Bay movie. Whatever. It's gonna be.
It's her toe thumbs.
Flashy and cool looking, and probably a little bit of fun, like what Transformers was. But I'm totally not expecting anything.
And
That's
and
gonna
what do you
please the
think
terrible
of
fan inside.
what do you think of William Fichtner playing Shredder?
What?
See, I like William Fichtner.
Is that
Yes.
that's happening?
That's true.
What?
Seriously?
Yeah, it's true.
Dude, bring it on. I love William Fichtner. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah, and
Huh.
and Danny Woodburn, by the way, is Splinter.
Who was Danny Woodburn?
Danny Woodburn is the little person who was he was Mickey on Seinfeld.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
his actor buddy.
is
Kramer's.
Splinter going to be like mocap, or is it going to be this guy in a suit, or whatever?
I believe he's not a rat. He's actually just a little person. That's the twist. The mutagen just turns him from a tall guy into a little person.
Ah.
They're,
That's
they're
stupid
mixing
if
it up
that's
a
the
little.
case.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't know.
I doubt that's true.
I'm pretty sure. he's a
I
rat.
can't get over William Fichtner as Shredder.
Yeah, I'm.
I guess, I mean, if he's going to be in the suit the whole time, I think that's fine.
Well, if
Yeah,
you'll recall-
whatever. I mean, I don't know.
If you'll recall, now when we first talked about this movie and we had Paul on, the plan was that Shredder is in fact Colonel Schrader, who is an evil military guy.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
So this lends credence to that.
That's
well-
really
Yeah.
stupid.
I don't know. We'll see.
So
But
there we go.
Yeah. I mean, is he gonna have the helmet? Is he gonna have the blades? Maybe not.
Nobody
Whatever.
knows.
Michael Bay's going to screw it up,
But remember, Michael Bay is not directing this movie.
but he's involved. He's going to screw it up.
He's
It's going to be a
involved.
mess. I'm going to see it. I'll probably pay $15 and see it at the ArcLight and reserve my seat and be happy. And whatever.
And then what? Have your mood ruined? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
You know, but here's my question, Sean. When you pay your money, are you going to clarify that it's under protest?
No.
Because
not for Ninja Turtles.
because they need to separate out the money that's being given in protest so that they know. They're like, we made a lot of money, but this $15 was by somebody who's upset with us, so don't count that towards the total.
I don't want that dirty, ill-begotten money. Yeah.
I love how people do that. They're like, I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to hate it. Okay, well, are you paying money for it? Because they don't care.
Yeah.
My expectations are still low.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll have more to talk about. Other news, and this is another pickup from a few weeks ago. We were talking about The Man from U.N.C.L.E. as the next big franchise movie that Tom Cruise was going to be in. Man from U.N.C.L.E. being, of course, the 60s spy series that they've been trying desperately for what seems like every year since the 60s to turn into a movie. And it hasn't really worked. So Tom Cruise had signed on. He was going to play Napoleon Solo, and he has since dropped out of Man from U.N.C.L.E., directed by Guy Ritchie. So they've replaced him with none other than Superman, Henry Cavill. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing? First of all, were you inclined to watch the movie with Tom Cruise? Would you now be inclined to watch the movie with Henry Cavill, or was Cruise your focal point of interest?
I was more intrigued by the pairing of Tom Cruise and Guy Ritchie.
Okay.
That's what was getting me. I'm still sort of a big ball of whatever for this movie. I'll just wait for the trailer. If it looks cool, maybe
Yeah.
I'll go see it.
And by
Exactly.
the way-
I don't really know what it is, so.
Yeah.
Well, the premise of the show was that now, and I said this before. It was developed by Ian Fleming, and the original conception of the show was called Solo, and the organization is called UNCLE, UNCLE. I couldn't tell you what it stands for, but it starred Robert Vaughn as Napoleon Solo, this American spy, and he's paired up with a Russian spy played by David McCallum, whose name is Ilya Kuryakin. And it's about their wacky adventures being American and Russian in the 60s and fighting bad guys and stuff. I mean, the show has not aged particularly well, but I mean, it's kitschy and whatnot. And I'm curious to see Henry Cavill paired up with Armie Hammer, because it's kind of like they're betting on this next generation of action stars to be able to carry franchises. I think that's the takeaway here.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Like Sean said, I have nothing invested in this unless it's a good trailer. Yeah, whatever. We'll see.
That's right.
What's also of note is that if you recall, back when they were planning the Justice League movie directed by George Miller, Armie Hammer had been signed on to play Batman.
Right.
So this is the Superman-Batman team-up movie.
Oh,
Without
yeah.
really being,
Oh, yeah.
without really
Weird.
being the Superman-Batman team-up movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last bit of headlines. This is courtesy of The Wrap. We get word that they are A, doing a Blade Runner sequel, and B, they have the guy who wrote Green Lantern rewriting the Blade Runner sequel.
It's a horrible idea.
Which part?
I don't know which part of that sentence to correct first.
Now, Blade Runner is one of these movies that they've been threatening a sequel practically since the first one came out.
Is it really necessary? I mean, is it going to be one of those things like, why bother calling it Blade Runner 2? Why not just have it be a weird sci-fi movie?
Yeah, who knows? But it is based on a script by the original writer, right? That's what he's rewriting.
That's correct. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the only. Well, you know what? I was going to say that was the only shred that makes this somewhat a good not a good idea, but like, okay, well, you have my attention. But then again, I mean, Ridley Scott made Alien.
Yeah. He also made
and
Prometheus.
then he made Prometheus. Yeah. So who knows?
Touché, Brian.
What I would like is for the Prometheus sequel to be also the Blade Runner prequel.
Get Damon Lindelof on board. He'll cock something up.
I'd love for it to be called Prometheus 2, but it has no connection to the first one, and it's completely a Blade Runner prequel. So that people will be.
Yeah, I'm on board.
That's what I want. That's what I want to see happen. Make it happen, Ridley. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, why do people love that movie so much? Blade Runner. Because it's such a weird movie. I love that movie. I'm saying like it's such a I don't know. What I'm trying to say. I'm really stammering right here. But why everyone loves that movie is not going to happen again.
Right.
You know, that movie's almost like a meditation in tone and style, and it's beautiful to look at. It's very slow, but deliberately so, and that's, you know, part of what makes it such an interesting sort of like noir, futuristic noir. But that's not going to happen. So I mean, I don't know.
Here's my thing with Blade Runner. I appreciate Blade Runner today the way I appreciate Citizen Kane.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, it blazed a trail, or it bladed a run. I don't know if that applies, but I mean it's. I have a hard time showing that to people completely cold because so much of what came after that is derivative of Blade Runner that it lost. You know, it's like showing Citizen Kane to people, and not having their eyes glaze over. Even though I think it's a great flick.
Right.
But it's so dependent on understanding the historical moment that produced it that it's lost some of that. And I don't think Alien is the same way. I think Alien you can show it to anybody and they'll glom onto it.
Yeah.
I think Blade Runner it's a harder sell.
Yeah.
Who's going to direct the sequel?
Ridley Scott was involved last I heard.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be him.
Yeah, he's all about doing sequels now to his early stuff.
I think odds are it's gonna be like the Total Recall remake.
With Ridley?
That sort of like I guess charmless sci-fi movie.
Even with Ridley Scott involved.
I think so. I think it's going to be really effects heavy. The Green Lantern writer is an awful idea. Worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, that movie is unfortunate.
He was involved with what's his name? Michael Green. He was involved with that Steven Spielberg Moses movie at one point, and I mean he wrote the Flash movie for Warner Brothers. I mean, maybe it's one of those things where he wrote Green Lantern and then a million other people ruined it.
Could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just after Prometheus. He's got
Green Lantern.
A long way to go to work back into my favor. I love Ridley Scott,
so just one movie was enough to knock him off his orbit for you with you. Wow, man.
If you found your wife in bed with another man, I mean, how quickly would you take her back?
That is
the same rules
metaphor.
apply. Prometheus was another woman.
Wait a minute, I'm lost. Actually,
Yeah.
I was trying to wrap my head around it so I could come up with a clever response, but I got lost.
Ridley Scott is my wife. Prometheus is another
Okay.
man. That's what it was.
You know what, Brian? I think you and I should just be quiet for the next few minutes and just let this play out.
She's got to earn herself back into my good graces. That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
my god.
And cooking me like a steak dinner is not going to do it.
Okay, so moving on. I don't even know where to go with that.
I'll take
So,
Trailers.
well, before trailers, very quickly, I wanted.
Aren't you guys glad I'm back?
I want to.
You glad I'm back on the show?
I am.
Sean, you are integral. You are integral to this show. I just want you to know that. I love you, brother. Okay, so before we talk trailers, I wanted to briefly mention a new film that I got to see and a conversation I got to have. We are recording this show on May 31st, and the episode will drop on June 3rd, just a few days before the theatrical release of Much Ado About Nothing, which is the new indie Shakespeare adaptation directed by Joss Whedon, Mr. Avengers, as he is affectionately known in geek quarters. And the great story behind Much Ado About Nothing, beyond the actual great story, which is, of course, written by William Shakespeare, is that he made Much Ado About Nothing as a way of unwinding from the stress of making the Avengers. So that's how Joss Whedon relaxes. Most people, after a stressful job is over, they go hit up the beach. Joss Whedon called up a bunch of his friends, had them hang out at his house for 2 weeks, and he shot a movie. And
2 weeks.
Yeah, it was shot over the course of 12 days.
Wow.
And in his Orange County estate, he gathered up friends of Whedon, so Nathan Fillion and Clark Gregg, and you name it, Sean Marr from Firefly, just a cornucopia of faces from previous Joss Whedon productions showed up to reenact Much Ado About Nothing. And I had a chance to watch the movie about a month ago. And just a pleasant surprise. I mean, I've read the play and I've seen previous versions of it, but I loved it. I had a blast with it. Do check out Much Ado About Nothing. It is a great version of Shakespeare, and it's worth seeing even if you've seen better versions, because I think this is one of the better ones. By the way, I'd like to jump in here. Somebody has left a comment who is watching our show on the air. And this is from let me see who it is. It's from Fatma A, and she says, "Guys, you are cool." Smiley face.
All right.
Well, you're cool too.
Yes.
Fatma A. Cool. All right.
Yeah, rock and roll. Very nice.
Cool.
Moving on to trailer talk. Brian, you want to do one of your jury rig jingles there?
Put on the spot. A little nervous here. Trailers.
Wow.
Sean, can you do something with that? Like in post, gussy it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, sure.
Add some zazz.
Right
no, not right now. Right now.
Yeah, can you make like a dubstep version of what I just did there? Thanks, Sean. Okay, moving on. No,
okay. Okay. Moving on. So, first trailer for today is the film Ender's Game, starring Harrison Ford. This is an adaptation of course, the famous sci-fi novel written by Orson Scott Card. Now, just in the interests of full disclosure, I have not had a chance to watch this trailer. So we will play some of the audio, and then I will listen. And then I will listen quietly as you discuss it, and I will nod politely.
If we're going to survive, we need a new kind of soldier. One who doesn't think the way we think. Fear the things we fear. One the enemy would never expect. We need minds like yours, Ender. You'll be the finest commander we've ever trained.
So I'm not the first.
No. But you will be the last.
I'll do everything I can to win this war.
You really don't see them as children, do you?
If you succeed, you will be remembered as a hero.
All right, gentlemen, discuss.
Go ahead, Brian.
I have not read this book. Have you?
No, and this trailer clearly, this is a movie that is clearly not for me.
You know, I actually felt that increasingly as I went along with the trailer. At first, I was like, "Okay, let's. What is this?" You know,
Because it's got Harrison Ford in it. You're like, yeah, let's give it a shot.
Well, I had a preconceived vision in my head of what this would be, and I thought it was going to be, well, it turned into what I thought it was going to be, which is another sort of Hunger Games-y looking thing where it's like children are in this incredibly dire and violent situation and have to rise up, and everyone is like, oh, it's you know, what a touchy thing. These kids are in these dangerous situations. It's like, whatever, every movie's like that now, you know? And I was actually sort of impressed with the effects at first. When I had all the ships and all the, I don't know, some aliens attacking some planet, I was like, all right, what's going on? Harrison Ford's narrating. And then you introduce the boy. I'm like, okay. But I don't know. It just feels, maybe this has to do with what you're saying, we're getting older, but all these movies look the same to me now. I mean, nothing made this feel distinguished from any other film about some boy who does something amazing in a, what, I don't know. I mean, it's funny. Again, here I go. I'm going to go into old man mode here. But like Goonies, all these movies look the same. Like Goonies is about these kids that are talking over each other and could be like kids you want to hang out with in some sort of adventure you wish you were involved with. Hunger Games, I enjoyed the book. The movie just felt like a really glossed over version. It stripped everything out of what made the book interesting, which was what are these kids actually feeling? Well, what is Katniss actually feeling? And you get in this girl's head, and she's in this horrible situation. And the movie was just like, nah, let's just have some like cool set pieces and some kids doing some stuff because kids will want to see that. And that's what this trailer felt like to me.
Yeah.
So thumbs down based on the trailer.
You know, who knows? The movie may be great, but this trailer did not make me want to go see it.
Yeah.
Thumbless.
You know, the book is, of course, very famous and very popular. I have a hard time getting past the fact that Orson Scott Card is just like the biggest homophobe on earth. And like, it's, you know, I have a hard time getting past people's personal bigotry when it comes to consuming their work. Now, maybe that's just a personal, you know, people are like, you should look at the art and not the artist. But I tend to have a difficult time with that.
I actually normally don't unless I can see it seeping into the art. When I see it sort of coming through in ways that they feel are probably subtle but are not subtle at all, then that...
I mean, you know what it is for me? It's like Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is like a great example. I have an extremely difficult time watching Mel Gibson movies now, even though I grew up loving Mel Gibson. And it's because he is insane, clearly. Yeah. You know, based on the things. I mean, you know, he had this insane rant where he tells his girlfriend, you know, I hope you get raped by a pack of N-words.
Right. Yeah. I remember.
And
that.
I was like, why would you say the first part of that, much less couple it with the second part of that?
Yeah.
Like, what wires are touching in your head that say that's a good idea, right? So for me, it's like, I mean, I have this issue where it's like I have a really difficult time watching, you know, The Patriot or whatever when it's on, because I'm like, I don't buy him as this noble person because I know he's a friggin' lunatic, you know?
Can you still watch Lethal Weapon?
You know, in all honesty, I have not tried to watch Lethal Weapon.
I can still watch Lethal Weapon. And honestly, you know, like, just with sort of what the world has become, where you learn everything about everybody, like, I don't expect much from celebrities.
Right.
seriously, like, for all you know, for all it seems like is that they're all crazy. They all have a dark side. They all do and say stupid things at some
Indeed.
point. It's like, whatever. I just want to be entertained with the movie. As long as the movie isn't about, what he's threatening his girlfriend with, I'm kind of okay. Like, it's whatever. Martin Riggs isn't like, isn't out there
Martin
telling-
Riggs is a damn
telling-
hero.
telling Rene Russo he gets whatever.
My hairstyle is in honor of Martin Riggs, so it's the Martin Riggs memorial haircut,
Yeah.
the memorial mullet. Well, I don't have a mullet, but
All right, what's next?
Anyway, next trailer. Sorry, moving on. Next up in trailers is The World's End, the new effort from Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, and directed by Edgar Wright, completing their trilogy of genre parodies. Let's go ahead and play some of that.
Ever had one of those nights that starts out like any other, but ends up being the best night of your life? I did. Our goal that night was simple. 12 pubs, 12 pints, from the first post to the world's end. But that night, we never made it.
What the hell is this? Why are we even here?
We are here to get annihilated.
You come back and everything's sort of weird.
I suggest you get on your way. It's not us that's changed. It's the town.
We are gonna get to the world's end if it kills us. Welcome home, boys.
Alrighty. I am super excited about this.
Yes.
Me too.
I did not see the Body Snatchers thing coming at all.
No.
Yeah.
That was where I was already going and I was already enjoying myself. But when those guys had light shooting out of their mouths, I was like, let this come out tomorrow. I'm ready.
That's right.
Seriously, doesn't it seem like every time these guys come out with a movie, it seems like the most entertaining and original movie that you've ever seen in your life?
I just love their voice.
Yeah.
I really do. I can't wait to. They have such a unique voice where, with Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, I mean, it's like they're not parodying these things. Would you call them homages? Because it's not even that. Like, they're making new stories that lovingly
riff. Is a keyword, yeah.
I mean, they're almost like riffing on these tropes, but they're not. Like, they're letting them play out.
Yeah.
With like a subtle wink.
Totally agree. Yeah.
I don't know.
Just everything looks refreshing. Every time they come out with a movie, it's some sort of refreshing change of pace, and I love it.
Yeah, it's the same as Shaun of the Dead, and we had our Shaun of the Dead episode a few months ago. That was last fall already. Can you believe that? But that was
I can whistle.
The
That's for anybody who watched Arrested Development season 4.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. Have you watched that, Brian?
I'm up to episode 9.
Okay, so thumbs up from you then on that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Nice. That's in my queue. I'm looking forward to getting to that.
Cool.
But they love the genre, which I love. They're fans in a way where the humor arises from the situation rather than, or from the interactions, I should say, rather than the situation that they're in. It doesn't make fun of the immediacy of what they're going through.
Right.
So this one looks exciting.
Yeah.
When does it come out?
This one is due out in the fall.
I think it's August.
Not soon enough.
That's right. Yeah, it's August 23rd. So coming up before too long. Moving on to new releases. Now we got a whole crap ton of new releases to talk about. The Hangover 3, Fast and Furious 6, a whole ton. But Sean, you missed out on our Star Trek talk, as we call it. So I figured if you have anything you want to add beyond what you already added at the front end of the show, we can get that in. Otherwise, if you want to forever hold your peace, we can.
I think what I just want to say is that overall, the Star Trek Into Darkness is far from perfect from a story standpoint. Mainly because the movie ends in the same place it begins. The arc of the journey of space exploration and all that stuff doesn't progress any, which I didn't like.
Yes.
But I really like the cast that J.J. Abrams has assembled. I really like these characters, and I enjoy spending time in this new Trek universe that he's created.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that is sort of enough to forgive some of the story elements that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to spending time with these guys again in the next movie.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to spending some time with them and to a new director coming on.
Yeah. Very curious.
That'll be interesting.
And not because I'm anti-Abrams, but just because I'd like to see the pool refreshed a little bit with the new voice potentially.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, we have The Hangover 3, which just came out last week. Now, I believe I'm the only one who's seen this. Is that correct?
I saw it.
Oh, okay, good.
Actually, I had a question for you.
Yes.
About an hour and 10 minutes in,
Okay.
something was sort of unclear to me, so I was hoping you could clear that up for me.
Well, funny story about me and The Hangover 3. About 45 minutes in, I nodded off to sleepy time. So where I was very pleasant. It was not in the theater with the characters in The Hangover. Now, by the way, I have a theory about this, which is that I nodded off right around the time Ken Jeong's character, Mr. Chow, was saying or doing something that involved, a lot of his talking, and he lulled me to sleep.
What an interesting voice
Yes.
to serve as your lullaby.
Well, here's the thing about this, because a few years ago I was watching Transformers: Dark of the Moon, and I fell asleep during that too. Now, all this time I attributed that to the cacophony that Michael Bay created. But I think I fell asleep at the point that Ken Jeong showed up in that movie. So I think we found the button.
Yep.
Which is Ken Jeong on the big screen, not on the small screen. I think Ken Jeong on the big screen is just too much of a thing. Not a good thing. Just too much of a thing. Just
So
a
all
thing.
that said, 2 stars. I'm Zeki Hassan.
That's right. I mean, I was planning on writing a review, but I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up. Yes.
Speaking of Ken Jeong's thing, yeah, when did you wake up?
So I wake up, and Ed Helms has breasts, and Ken Jeong is standing there buck naked. And then the movie ends. So I felt like a character in the movie. So in that sense, it was very effective. It was immersive. But, yeah, I mean, okay, so based on what I saw, it was extremely boring and unfunny. I'm not qualified to give a full critique. So maybe, Brian, you can sort of grab the baton and run with it.
I'm having a hard time articulating how I feel about this movie, but it seems most people really, really don't like it.
Okay.
So I will say this. I didn't hate it. It was 2 hours of, whatever. I laughed a couple times.
They should put that on the poster, Brian.
Well,
2 hours of whatever.
I liked the first movie. I didn't care so much for the second one, but I didn't hate it like everyone else did. It was just, they're just whatever. I don't care about these characters so much. I don't have high expectations for these movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just ready to sit down for 2 hours and go somewhere else and laugh a little bit. And, is this movie worth $15 at the theater? No, like absolutely not. But on a Sunday afternoon on HBO when it comes on, you could do worse. You'll probably be like, "Oh, I missed this," and you watch it and go, "Oh, okay."
Okay,
and,
so here,
and I don't even mean that in a terrible way. It's just one of those movies,
Well, okay, so Sean, you have not seen it.
No, I'm not going to see it. I don't care. So
Okay.
Spoil away.
Okay, so the first scene of the movie is Zach Galifianakis' character, who's I don't even remember his name. What's his name?
Cliff?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Alvin. This is a problem. That right there is a problem.
I like that you went from Cliff to Ellen.
Alan. It's Alan. I'm pretty sure it's Alan.
Alan. That's right,
Cosby
Alan.
Show.
So he's driving along, and he bought a giraffe.
Right.
He bought a giraffe, and he's driving along, and he's drinking, because nothing funnier than drinking and driving.
Well,
And-
that comedy Flight. It was really funny in that.
That was, exactly. That was comedy gold right there. And so he drives under an overpass, and the giraffe is beheaded. Now, the theater that I saw it in there were a few scattered, uncomfortable laughs. But thankfully, we live in a world where people tend not to find a beheaded giraffe funny. So I was kind of grateful for that. And my point with all of this is that the character of Alan, who we're all supposed to be laughing at, is clearly disturbed on a deeply emotional level. He's not well. It's not even a question. I mean, I thought this back in the first one because he drugs these people. I mean, he's got issues clearly, and so we're supposed to laugh along with this. And I'm like, well, I can't feel comfortable doing that, And the actors all feel as if they're fully aware of how tired they are of this.
That absolutely comes across how bored they are. I mean, really, you can feel Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, the whole movie is saying, "What the F is this? What the F are we doing? Why the F are we here?" And I don't think any of that was in the script. I think that's just him.
Those are outtakes, but Todd Phillips was like, "Use it."
They just spliced it in. So I don't know.
Here. So here's the thing. People didn't like the sequel because they said it was too much like the first one. And now this one is nothing like the first one and people don't like it. I mean, what do you make of that? I mean, what I make of that is what I've always said is, comedy comes from surprise. And in the first one, there's a frickin' tiger in the bathroom. What? Mike Tyson's here. What? It's funny. I mean, that's a funny premise. But then in the second one, it was that premise again, and it's like, okay. And in this one, it's just things happening to these guys again. It's just, you can't repeat it. It's already happened, and these characters aren't strong enough for us to actually care about them.
Yep.
So
even in the first movie, you don't care about these characters.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you necessarily care about them, but the situations are funny. I mean, it's you don't know what's happening, and you want to know what happened. I think that's why the first one works. Is it does pull you along, but I just think in this third one, the reason I even liked it at all is just because the shocking things that Galifianakis would say. Not even shocking, but he says really random things, and occasionally it makes you laugh. So that's about all it has going for it, really.
So it's a mediocre end to an unnecessary trilogy.
Yes, that should go on the Blu-ray box.
There you go. It's a box office disappointment too.
Yeah.
So that says something. It's now trailing Star Trek Into Darkness, which opened a week earlier. So it's not doing what it needs to do. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum from Hangover 3 is Fast and Furious 6, which also came out last week, and it opened to a staggering $120 million opening weekend, which is a record for this franchise and for Universal Studios. So in other words, Fast and Furious 6 opened higher than Jurassic Park, or, I mean, you name it. Now,
and it wasn't even in 3D.
And it wasn't in 3D or IMAX. So that says something nice about, the audience's willingness to show up.
For something they want to see.
For a well-crafted spectacle. Now, I mentioned to you guys a few weeks ago that I have not seen a single Fast and Furious movie. So a few weeks before this movie came out, they had a deal on Amazon, all 5 Fast and Furious movies for like $30.
Wow.
And I was like, great deal. So I got them. I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch them all. I'm going to be ready to go. I'm going to get caught. I'm going to cram and make this happen before the new movie comes out. So I sat down and I started watching, and then I realized that I have 3 children in my house, which means that any movie it takes galactic years to watch.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. So I made it through 25 minutes of the first Fast and Furious movie, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to get through the first one. And then I was like, I'm going to try to get through half an hour of the first run. And then about 2 days before Fast 6 opened, I was like, all right, new plan. I'm going to not watch any of them and just watch this completely cold. So that was my new social experiment. And I did that, and I had a grand old time. If you told me 3 weeks ago that Iron Man 3 was going to be coming out, Star Trek 2 was going to be coming out, and I would like Fast and Furious 6 more than both of them. I would not have believed you, but here we are.
Wow.
This is the world that we live in.
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised.
I'm surprised too. I really dug it to the point that, I mean, it stayed with me days after, like scenes and images and lines of dialogue. I can't say that about any of the other stuff I've seen thus far this summer, like the big summer releases.
Yeah.
Now, that's my perspective as somebody who's completely cold. Now I'm kind of making my way through them now, so... And this is also the irony, by the way. This is also what happens when you are a parent. I have downstairs in my family room a beautiful big screen TV and an awesome Blu-ray player. You know how I watch movies? Huddled in the closet on my laptop. Via a digital copy. With the door locked and the kids pounding on the door. What are you doing in there? Shut up! Trying to watch Vin Diesel, damn it! Shut up! I'll break your crayons. So this is where I'm at. But anyway, so I'm about like part way through part 2. But Brian, now you have seen it, and Sean, I'm going to go on a limb here and say you have not seen Fast and Furious 6.
I'm just going to create a new character for myself. His name is Earl, and he's never heard of anything ever.
They found him in the woods.
Is this like an exercise? Okay.
What's a movie? I don't know.
Okay, Earl. We got this one. Okay.
I do want to say one quick thing though.
Yes.
I still find it really difficult to. And I like the. I've only seen 1, 2, and 5. I haven't seen 3 or 4, and I liked 5 a lot. The first 2 are kind of forgettable in my opinion. I liked 5 a lot. I thought it was a really fun time. But still, like, thinking about all the great action franchises throughout the years, it's still weird to me that, like, you go to, like, you take the Universal Studios tour, and it's like, there's a big section now devoted to Fast and Furious. There's, like, a Fast and Furious stunt thing where the cars flip around and stuff. It's just weird thinking that this franchise is now, like, up there with the Lethal Weapons and the diehards and stuff like that in terms of success and in terms of
Well, it's arguably it's a greater success than either of those two.
Yeah.
Right. And this says something because now again, as I mentioned, I went in completely cold, so I was viewing it really with an eye on the audience, and that's when it really clicked with me. I mean, the way the audience was into it. This was their thing. These are their characters. Mm-hmm. This is their generation's thing, just like Die Hard was for us. I got it. Like, it just, Dominic Toretto is John McClane for these guys.
Right.
He's earned a place at the table, and I have to respect that. I mean, because really it comes down to just sheer longevity. You get grandfathered in.
Right.
And it's I mean, for me, that's what's most telling is that the first movie came out in 2001. We are now 6 movies later, 12 years later.
Yeah.
Now, when you think about it, in 2001, summer of 2001, what other big franchise movies came out that year? We had The Mummy Returns, which is also from Universal. We had Jurassic Park 3, also from Universal. We had Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
Wow.
Right? Now, when you think about it, in those 12 years, they've made no more Jurassic Parks. They made one more Mummy movie that killed the franchise, and they made a Planet of the Apes reboot 10 years later. Meanwhile, after they made 5 more Fast and Furious movies.
Wow. That have gotten better and better and better and increased in popularity. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that says something pretty extraordinary about how you earn a place at the table whether people like it or not. And there's no questioning that at this stage in the game, the Fast franchise is just as legitimate as anything else.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting though? Because, I mean, would anyone else really go see a Vin Diesel movie?
I don't think so.
It doesn't seem that way. Or a Paul Walker movie. Like, these people aren't successful outside of this franchise.
Yeah.
It's this franchise that everybody has attached themselves to.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I mean that's exactly it, right? The value, they realize it. I mean, hell, Vin Diesel took off after the first one because he was a chump,
Right.
right? And he came back because he figured out that his value is as this character. And we talked about the Riddick trailer last week. Well, why does he get to do Riddick 3? Because he opened Fast 6 to $120 million.
Right.
By the way, the audio for the Riddick trailer, when you played it on last week's episode, that could have easily been for a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah. Well, it's just Vin Diesel. Yeah, that's right.
You can contain me.
It's vehicular warfare.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, okay, so what I dug about this movie is that it felt like the Avengers with cars. in the sense that these characters are basically superheroes. As long as they're in a car, no harm can befall them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The government wants them because they're like, do you know how good these people are in cars?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the great thing, you have the bad guy who's Shaw, who's played by Luke Evans. He has his team of evil drivers. And before the movie, they hang a lampshade on it in the movie because they call attention to it. But I made that note. I was like, these are like the evil twin versions of the good guys.
Yeah, they're like the doppelgangers.
Yeah.
The villains in this, each hero has a doppelganger on the evil team. It's pretty funny.
You have the evil Rock, and you have evil Vin Diesel. Evil Diesel.
Evil.
Ooh. Now, it brings together all the characters from the different films, continuing on from the first one. Now we talked before about how Fasts 4, 5, and 6 are set before the third one, Tokyo Drift.
Right.
And this one really clarifies that in what I thought was a pretty clever way.
Yeah.
With the little post-credit tag, which we talked about in previous episodes. So, I mean, we're in spoiler territory here anyway. But I guess we can talk about it. How the character Han, who's played by Sung Kang, he dies in Tokyo Drift.
Right.
In what we think is just a freak accident, and then the post-credit or the mid-credit scene in Fast 6 shows that in fact he was killed after a collision with Jason Statham,
who plays the brother of the villain from the film we just watched.
Yeah, which I saw that. Now, I haven't even seen Tokyo Drift yet, but I was like, that is extremely clever.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that they didn't just try to come up with 4 new set pieces and call it Fast 6 and 4 Fast 7.
Yeah.
They're like, no. Let's look at this, what we've laid out.
Yeah.
And let's make this all work together.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to respect that.
What I said in my review is that when I wasn't paying attention, because I missed Fast and Furious the first one when it came out. While my back was turned, it became not just a franchise, but it became a saga.
Yeah,
which is, that I gotta respect that. I think Justin Lin, who did the last 4 of these movies, and he's done now after this one, he's really built something together with Vin Diesel. I think both of them should feel really good about the foundation that they've laid. I mean, I can easily see them doing 3 more of these.
Let me ask you guys this. It seems to me that the appeal to this movie, especially for a younger crowd, is not so much the characters as much as it is just the fast cars and the hot girls.
I would actually disagree with that.
You think so?
I think I would too. At least the direction that it's headed.
My question was going to be, do you think that you could plug almost any actor into these roles and it would be just as successful?
I don't think you could anymore.
Not at this point, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people have formed an attachment to Dominic Toretto, to Brian O'Connor. And I think, my friend Jeff Connell made a comment that between Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, we have one great actor. Which I think is really true. I think both of them together are a great team.
Yeah.
And Paul Walker has evolved as an actor.
He's gotten better.
He has gotten better.
He was better in this one.
By the way, Brian, my wife was watching Fast and Furious the other day, and she said, Paul Walker looks just like Brian.
Hey-o.
So, hello there.
Yes.
I'll take it. Can I put that on my resume?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Just cite her.
My good friend's wife said I sort of resemble Paul Walker under skills.
Circa 2001. So,
yeah.
So under skills. That's not a marketable skill, but it is thus it is there. So make of it what you will.
I got another quick question.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned how The Rock is considered franchise Viagra.
Yes.
If he was not in this movie, would it have been as enjoyable?
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I would say no.
Yeah,
I think he really adds his
does add
charisma.
He is
a big part of this movie.
I mean, he added charisma to Pain and Gain, which is friggin' that was pain and no gain. That was that was pain and loss.
We talk about Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, which is definitely makes these movies work. But now Vin Diesel and The Rock, their interplay is really fun.
Yeah, it's this interesting triad, the three of them.
Yeah.
But again, and I said this before. Now that they're bringing Jason Statham in, I'm like, why hold back? Let's get every bald action hero. Just line them up. I want to see Bruce Willis in the next one. I want to see Patrick Stewart in the one after that.
Stewart.
Let's get Ben Kingsley in there. George Costanza. Let's get Jason Alexander. Yeah, Brian, you were saying?
No, I was going to say, but I think it's interesting that for this action film, I don't think we've really talked about the action yet. I mean, we're talking about how much we like these characters and their interactions. But
that's very true.
I'll say this too. I didn't love this movie like everyone else is loving it. I actually liked 5 better.
Interesting.
Than 6, but I like 6 a lot. I really enjoyed 5. But what I want to say is Justin Lin. I mean, he is staging some of the best action that is happening now in action films.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I still love 5, I think, better, is because, I mean, the characters are just as fun, but that scene at the end where the 2 cars are lugging this safe, around a city and smashing things and buildings and other cars. Awesome. I mean, I've never seen that before, and I haven't seen anything like it since. I mean, that left an impression on me, and it didn't look bad. It looked amazing. And I think... In this movie, I don't know that they topped that sequence, but they come up with great sequences that are inventive and fun and don't look stupid. I mean, the physics are a little ridiculous, but they didn't go overboard with the CGI.
Well, there's an action sequence in here where Vin Diesel jumps across. He I'm trying to envision it in my head. Michelle Rodriguez is falling, so Vin Diesel leaps across a highway. Brian, what exactly happens there?
He's on a moving car, right? And she's falling, and he jumps off of his moving car to catch her midair, but instead of them just sort of
dying,
bonking each other's heads and falling straight down to their deaths, he changes their course midair, direction, and they land in the windshield of another car miraculously.
Well, bear in mind, the scene is capped off with Michelle Rodriguez saying, "It's a good thing this car was here to break our fall."
Wink.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll say this. It's so stupid, and I clapped.
The whole crowd did it.
My theater started clapping. I started laughing and clapping. You can't, but because that's what this movie has set up.
Yeah,
it knows it's silly.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, and the sorry, go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say the final set piece, the third act with there's a giant airplane. All these, for some reason, everyone on this team has inherited a grappling gun. Everyone has one for no reason at the end.
Even though it's sort of set up. A James Bond gadget.
Yeah, and they all attach their cars to this plane that's taking off of a runway that's about 50 miles long.
That's right.
And the sequence is like 20 minutes, and they're going super, super fast. But anyway, But none of it makes sense. It's silly, but at the same time, it didn't look super, super fake. So there's this credibility that this fun movie allows. and you can just go with it and be like, damn, that is really cool to look at.
Right.
You guys bring up an
it's set. Bear in mind, and this is important. This whole climax is set while this plane is attempting to take off.
Yeah.
Which, if you do the math, that would make the runway like 50 miles long.
Yeah.
It just keeps going and going. The plane drives into the next country.
Right. Well, and I had a question here. There's this awesome thing that's actually in the trailer, so this isn't even a spoiler, but a car drives through the nose of the plane.
Yeah.
Right before the plane blows up. But I was like, isn't that where the pilots and the consoles and everything go? How did the car get over that crap?
Oh, well, they're all dead. I mean,
Well, yeah, but how did a car even get over their seats? And
because Vin Diesel was driving the car.
And when they get behind,
that's right. They have
the wheel of a car. They're unstoppable. So
this brings up an interesting point. Is that especially in the last movie, and from what you guys are saying, it sounds like in this movie, with the exception of Han, obviously, sort of like the Avengers. It's like these characters all felt very safe in the fifth movie to me. I didn't expect anybody to get killed off. And it sounds like with what they're setting up, maybe with the Statham storyline, is that, he's pissed off that his brother got killed, so he's going to be offing Vin Diesel's team like one by one.
I hope not. I got to say.
Which it just makes me wonder where they're going with the next, because it has the potential of getting like, a little more serious, a little more hardcore, like a little darker than what it's been. So I'm curious as to where they're going to go from here.
Yeah, we lose two members of the team in this movie. I mean, are we in full blown spoiler territory here? I don't want
to. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm going to see it regardless. So.
Yeah, well, Giselle, right? Is that her name?
Yeah.
And Han. Well, Han. I mean, he's already we know him, but yeah,
and they're a couple.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, she's.
So, I mean, you kind of see it coming because it's like I love her, and yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, I don't want him to kill off Roman. I don't want him to kill off, Ludacris. I like all of these guys. Like, just with one movie, I've grown attached to them, so I'd hate to see that happen.
I will say this though, I wish they're obviously got the character thing down, they got the action thing down, but I really do wish they'd hire a guy to work on the comedy a little bit. Like the comedy in these movies are so bad. I wrote this down. When they have the grappling gun, let's call it the super grappling gun. Tyrese
That's right.
What are you guys hunting? Moby Dick? I was like, well, that actually sort of makes sense because it does look like a harpoon. I mean, it's what?
That's right.
And then there's the part where he sees the giant airplane in the third act, and he goes, they're like, look at that plane. He's like, that's not a plane. ... So I'm like, oh, okay, here comes a joke. What's he gonna say? And he's like, that's a planet. I was like, oh.
I wonder if they're just letting Tyrese improv.
Yeah.
And he's just not good at it,
Minor complaint.
That's how he like ribs people. He just says what they're doing in a snooty tone. Like, what are you doing, buddy? Crossing the street?
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Burn.
Yes. I was expecting a punchline, but in fact, I am actually.
Very well then.
Yeah.
So Fast 7 is due to come out next year, and I'm excited.
Yeah. That's a pretty quick turnaround.
Do they have a director for the new one?
James Wan.
Yeah, from Saw, right?
From the Saw movies, yeah. So we'll see what happens if
Justin Lin to James Wan. Okay.
Yeah, well, it could be a lateral move. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes. Other new releases, very quickly. After Earth came out today, and this is, of course, the latest effort from M. Night Shyamalan, with Will Smith and Jaden Smith playing a father and son trapped on Earth many years after a cataclysm that left the planet uninhabitable. This movie was very short, and I'm glad.
Really?
It was 90 minutes and out. So I'm grateful for that, because it's not as bad as the other bad Shyamalan movies. Okay. But it's not
good. He didn't write this one.
Well, he did. Yes, he did. He
Shyamalan?
He did, yes.
I thought I'd read that this was the first one he hadn't written.
No, he co-wrote it with some dude, but I
see.
forget the guy's name. But Will Smith came up with the idea.
Layman Dindeloff.
That's right. So
With a
this is
mustache.
this is what I wrote in my review. That this is what I call a fake sci-fi movie, because it really doesn't need to be set on another planet or be in space or anything like that, because all it is a father and son are on an expedition. Their conveyance crashes in hostile territory, and the son has to find the thing that will help save his father's life and get them rescued. So every element of the movie that's sci-fi is utterly replaceable. Right? So in other words, instead of a spaceship, they're on an airplane. Instead of this alien that's chasing them, it's a bear that's chasing them. Instead of the weird like AV device that Will Smith uses to communicate with his son, you have a walkie-talkie. The story doesn't change at all.
Yeah.
And to me,
Well,
that's
what about these
problematic.
creatures that are hunting? I mean, isn't it? What I had read is that they are manipulated or they've evolved over time to attack humans specifically. I mean, does that ever come into play, or
Well-
could it still just be like a hostile animal, like a bear?
Okay, first of all, let's think about this for a second. This is per the line in the movie. Everything on this planet has evolved to kill humans. Why? Humans haven't been on the planet for more than 1,000 years. So why would they evolve specifically to kill a creature that they will never encounter? Makes no sense, right?
Just been Shyamalan.
I mean, I said this. Remember, I said this in an earlier show that Shyamalan's life has become a Shyamalan movie because the twist ending is he's this crappy director everyone hates. And I went into this hoping, I was like, you know what, let it not suck, because I'd like to not have to write that review.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the script is completely listless. The execution is completely blasé, and the real problem is that Jaden Smith is the lead in this movie.
This was a question I had.
Yes.
Based on the trailer, and Brian, plug your ears if you don't want to hear it. There was a trailer that came out after the first teaser, and there was something about it that sort of stood out where I was like, does Will Smith just sit in a chair talking to his son for like 90% of this movie?
Yes.
Like, is it mostly Jaden Smith out there fighting monsters?
Yes. Well, Jaden
That's
Smith
lame.
is the lead, and if you look at the credits, he's credited first.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, here's my thing, okay? I love Will Smith. I'm a little tired of Will Smith trying to force us to love his son.
Yeah.
And I feel bad saying this because he is a kid.
He's a
but
kid, yeah. But still.
He's just not a good enough actor to drive our interest.
Well, he may have been if you team them up in scenes rather than having Will Smith just talking to him over radio.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, but it's beyond that. There's
Get
an
them involved.
emotional undercurrent to this movie that Jaden can't carry. He just can't. He just can't. So then what are we left with? We have a lead actor who's not particularly compelling. We have a director who is uninterested or unable, regardless. He's not doing what he can. So we have Will Smith proving yet again why he is a superstar. Because every time we see Will Smith, we're like, I want to see more of Will Smith. So here's Jaden Smith being chased by mutant monkeys, and he's like, oh, help me. And I'm like, I don't care about this.
Right.
Let's see what's happening to Dad.
Yeah.
So the best thing I can say about After Earth is that, man, it does not overstay its welcome. 90 minutes, done. We can get on with our life and forget about this movie. Oh, already have. The end.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. But also out today is Now You See Me, which I have unfortunately not seen, ironically. Brian, anything? Oh, but one thing that is worth saying about After Earth as compared with Now You See Me is that After Earth is looking like a pretty big debacle at the box office. Because it's looking like it's going to have a mid-20s weekend.
Wow.
After Earth, really?
After Earth, yeah, and they were predicting 40 million.
Wow. Yeah, we were, seeing what was it, the midnight screenings on Thursday, Now You See Me beat After Earth. Which
That's right.
That's
exactly it, yeah.
crazy. I mean, Will Smith. So who knows? But I'll just say a quick word. Of course, I have to promote Now You See Me. I've given so much time to that thing. But it comes out this weekend, and all I'll say is this: I can't really give a review on it, but I've seen this movie over and over again. I still enjoy it. I think it's good, lighthearted fun, and if you just want to sit down and be entertained, I think it's something that you will enjoy.
Now, Brian, was it screened for critics?
It was screened for critics, yes.
Okay. Because it's interesting, because I was waiting to get a notification, and I never did, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I read that on a website somewhere where someone was trying to chide it, like, well, it wasn't screened for critics. And so I asked around the office, I was like, was it? And they're like, yes, that person just wasn't invited. So I mean, not that person specifically, but I don't know how that worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did have several. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Well,
Call
regardless, I'm gonna call and give them a piece of my mind. I'm very irked with them. So, it looks like After Earth is a debacle, but Now You See Me will be a pleasant surprise. So all
Good.
things,
I hope so.
All is right in Brian World.
Yeah.
By virtue of that. We are coming up towards the end of the show, but as we do each week, we have a movie film quiz, this time administered by Sean Coyle.
That's me.
Brian, are you ready to go?
I'm horrible at these. I'm normally pretty good at these when I play along on the radio, but when you actually participate, it's a whole different thing. I'm ready. I want to do this. I got to prove
Sean,
myself here.
What are you quizzing us about this week?
Well, there's really no theme to pull from this week, so I was actually just gonna. I got 5 movie quotes. It's a movie quote quiz.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to say the quote, and I'm going to say it as best I can in character.
Oh lordy!
And you're gonna have to name. You're gonna have to name the movie, and you're also gonna have to name the actors, or character. If you don't remember the actor's name, you can give me the character. So you can name the movie and who said it.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it. Wait, what are our avatars? Who are we this week?
Let's see, avatars this week. Let's go with soft drinks.
Coke.
Pepsi.
Oh damn!
Wow.
I am the choice of a new generation, Brian.
You can't beat the real thing. So.
Oh, see.
You're Coke, not Coke Classic. Brian, get it straight.
I should clarify. I'm the new Coke. So.
Well, then that's not the real thing.
Did Cosby do Coke 2, or was it the new Coke?
Coke 2, I think, right?
Usually
Coke 2, it'll be around forever.
Coke
Get out of my face!
2 was originally New Coke.
Yeah.
And then they called it Coke 2. And then they called it obsolete. Because
Look, do you guys want to take this quiz or not?
Should you be
Fine.
Crystal Pepsi? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Coke and Pepsi.
yes,
All right.
go on.
Movie quotes. Play along at home. Is there somebody still listening or watching the
There
show?
is. We got one person watching.
Hey.
Hi.
Play along.
Hello.
Play along, faceless watcher person. All right. Question number 1.
Let's make it happen.
Drug dealers wouldn't be caught dead in those polyester rags.
Goonies. Oh, damn it, Coke.
Yes. Yes, Coke.
Coke. Goonies. Data.
Yes. The name. Do you know his real name?
I don't, actually.
Ki-Hoi Kwan.
Ki-Hai Kwan, yeah.
Yeah.
I should get that point
short
because
round.
he didn't know Ki-Hai Kwan.
But I said his character name.
Yeah, I said you can.
Fortunately, I adhered to the rules, Pepsi.
All right,
Pepe.
Brian. Brian is in the
I
lead.
love you, Pepsi.
That's
Pepe.
right. Peppy.
You're so
I
learned.
love you, Papa Homer.
These quotes never stop.
Okay.
So learned.
That's right.
All right.
Go
Question
on.
2. I want my lamp back. I'm gonna need it to get out of this slimy mud hole. Yes.
Pepsi. That would be Empire Strikes Back, spoken by Luke Skywalker.
Correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. 1-1.
And you did a very
Slimy.
good whiny
Mud hole.
My home this is. Okay, anyway, go on.
All right. Question number 3.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Pepsi.
Yes.
That's Mel Gibson in The Simpsons.
Wait a minute. I knew that, but that's not a movie.
Well, what movie is he doing?
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Remake.
I need an avatar, please.
I said Pepsi. What?
This is
It's
suspect.
still my turn. I said Pepsi. That's not fair. That's
Okay.
discrimination.
You got
Was
it.
that
You got
line
it.
actually featured in the film? Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
In the Simpsons
the-
version? It was.
It's in the Simpsons version of the movie.
This is wonky.
I just want to go on record as saying I got the point, but I think that's a bullshit question. I agree with Brian. Pepsi and Coke join forces.
Don't want bullshit questions.
Are you? Yeah. Who would? All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Never mind.
You're a bullshit question.
Yes, that's what my parents say to me.
Question number 4. All right, question number 4. Quote. Steve.
Pepsi.
What?
What is it?
That's Jeff Goldblum in Independence Day.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
David. He's David Hiller or David Levinson.
What?
David Levinson.
Could you please continue the scene for me?
Steve. It's when Will Smith, when they're in the spaceship and they're trying to get out of the big alien spaceship,
Yeah.
and Will Smith's cutting it too close, and they just cut to Jeff Goldblum, and he goes, Steve.
Hey Brian, you know what that smell is? That would be victory. Mine.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Jeff Goldblum, wherever you are.
All right, let me give you the last one, just for fun here. Steve. Okay.
Good times.
Question 5. What Russian novel embracing more than 500 characters is set in
Coke.
the Napoleonic Wars?
Coke.
Yes.
Does it even matter? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Is that Raphael?
Yes.
No, because is it?
Yeah.
You couldn't tell by his amazing impression, Brian.
Because they're playing.
Yeah.
Trivial Pursuit. That's a pretty good impersonation, by the way.
It was.
Do you remember the answer to the question?
What?
It'd be
The question that Raphael was asking?
Yeah.
War and Peace.
War and Peace. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually used that clip. I remember in the movie Loaded Weapon. Do you remember that?
Oh, really? No, I don't remember.
It was a spoof of the Lethal Weapon movies, and Emilio Estevez goes in the sewers, and then he pokes his head up, and they use that clip, and they make it look like he's poked his head into that scene, and then he goes back down.
Oh, that's funny. You know.
By the way, Brian, you know the original title of War and Peace?
War was a good
Where
one.
is it? What was it good for? Yeah.
All right, that.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that Ninja Turtles question is that question actually exists in that version of Trivial Pursuit. And when I was a kid, my parents would have game nights with their friends a lot, and they would often play Trivial Pursuit. And one time, that question actually popped up, and because of that movie, I was like, "War and Peace," and everybody sort of looked at me like, "What? You do nothing but play Nintendo all day.
That's hilarious.
How do you know anything, Earl?"
Nice.
All right, so that brings us to the end of another episode of the Movie Film Show. Brian, where can people find you online?
At everythingbrian.blogspot.com, Brian with an I.
And Sean, how about you?
Well, search your heart, people, and you'll find me.
Very nice.
Or go to moosehub.com or mrboyproductions.com or facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast or moviefilmpodcast.com.
And I think you covered it.
I love you.
And and of course you can find me at zackiscorner.com. That's ZAKIS corner.com, as well as at the Huffington Post, where my movie reviews are going up every Friday morning, at least during the summer, and then we'll play it by ear after that. Just a reminder, please do hit up iTunes, write us a review. Please do hit up Stitcher Radio and write us a review and check out the show from there. Also, make sure you hit like on the Facebook page that Sean mentioned. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can hit us up at Facebook or at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. Lots of ways to reach us, so please don't hesitate to do that. That's it for this edition of the Movie Film Show. We've got a lot to talk about next time when Man of Steel is on the agenda.
Yes.
Plus, my interview with Seth Rogen, Craig Robinson, and Evan Goldberg about their new film.
Name drop.
This is the end. That's right. So a lot to look forward to. We hope you'll join us. On behalf of my buddies Brian Hall and Sean Coyle, my name is Zaki Hassan. This is the Movie Film Podcast. We will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening.
Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zach and Sean and Ryan are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Steve!